Hey, it's Kyle here, and today I'll be continuing my series of videos where I explore the animated world of Star Wars. For anybody that hasn't seen the videos in this series so far, basically I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Absolutely love Star Wars stuff. But a big hole in my fandom has been I've never seen any of the Star Wars animated cartoons. So with all the craziness in 2020 with the pandemic and being home a lot more, I decided to finally catch up and binge all the Star Wars animated content on Disney+. I've already completed all the seasons of Clone Wars, so if you haven't checked that out yet, be sure to watch those videos where I explore all the seasons of Clone Wars. And I'm currently binging Star Wars Rebels. So today's video will focus on Season 3 of Rebels. I do have some notes here that I'll look down to as I kind of go over the season. So if I look down, that's what I'm doing. First off, Season 3 of Rebels was probably the one season of animated stuff in Star Wars that I knew a lot about before I actually watched it, and I should explain why. A huge part of my Star Wars fandom is I'm a big reader of the Star Wars books. All the novels, a lot of them I have read over 100, have a huge collection of Star Wars books. I'm just a big Star Wars book nerd. My favorite Star Wars character of all time is a character introduced in the books, Grand Admiral Fran. Love him. He's by far my favorite Star Wars character. So when the third season of Rebels was coming out, online when Season 3 was teased, it became a big news in the Star Wars fandom that Grand Admiral Fran was going to be featured in the series. So for book nerds like me who love Star Wars, and most Star Wars book fans absolutely love Fran, that was amazing news that we were going to get to see Fran on TV. So that made me know at some point, I definitely want to watch Rebels so I can at least get to see Fran finally on screen. Now I'll admit, when that came out, I even watched a few trailers for it just to see how he's depicted. So I'd seen a little bit, and I was familiar with a few of the characters on Rebels, just from the basic of the trailers I saw. So when I was getting to Season 3 finally during my binge watching, I was like, oh, this is Fran's coming, I can't wait, I'm so excited. And I should say I absolutely love the way Thrawn was depicted in the series. No complaints whatsoever. The one thing I was afraid is, as much I loved Thrawn in the books, I thought it was going to be really hard for somebody to really depict him in such a way that I'd feel the same way about his animated character. So often when you have a high expectations for something, or you're really passionate about it, when they do new content in that realm, you're just disappointed because your standards are so high that something can almost be nearly perfect. And you're like, I'm not sure. I still love the original version better. That's why so many people with remakes, they're always so hesitant. So I was a little nervous about how Fran was depicted, but I loved him. I can't really think of anything I would change about the way he's depicted in Season 3 of Rebels. He's depicted as a brilliant character, absolutely fascinating, very mysterious. At the same time, he has his evil side, and he's clearly a villain. And he's a very different type of Star Wars villain. And I just love how he was depicted. It was like the character that was in the books came to life in the cartoon series perfectly. I cannot compliment how Fran was depicted in Season 3 too much. It was just perfection. Loved it. And obviously he's the driving force behind Season 3. So much of the plot revolves around Fran trying to stamp out this rebel group, and the rebel group quickly becoming aware of Fran, and also how brilliant he is and how hard he's making for him to operate, and how even when they don't think they're making any mistakes, Fran is still 10 steps ahead of them, and how they try to adapt their strategy to suddenly combat this brilliant admiral that's fighting against them. It makes for a very interesting season, and Season 3 is definitely my favorite season as Rebels so far because of that dynamic of Fran and the Rebels. Some other things for Season 3, I really enjoyed the introduction of Bendu, this kind of mysterious force-sensitive creature on the near the Rebels' new base. He's kind of He's not a Jedi, but he's not a Sith, so it's kind of mysterious what role in the Force he plays. I'm interested to see more if anything else happens with his character. But his story arc for Season 3 was very fascinating. It seems like he came to the end of Season 3, but he was such a mysterious character. I don't know if we'll see more of him or not in Season 4, but he was a really interesting way to depict a different type of character within the Force in Star Wars. Darth Maul comes back in Season 3, and so loved his interaction with Ezra as they slowly try to interpret this Force vision that they both have, and they see these twin suns, and obviously any Star Wars fans know when you say twin suns what that means, but obviously the characters don't, so it's interesting as they kind of unravel that mystery over the course of the season. And of course, towards the end of Season 3, you have a big showdown between Maul and Obi-Wan finally, as they kind of have their, as I would almost say, their come-to-Jesus meeting, where you have these two characters who their fate has been intertwined so much in the movies and the animated series that you finally have this big showdown on Tatooine between Maul and Obi-Wan, and it was very, very cool. And then you really just have a little bit of Obi-Wan in Season 3, but his little bit in there where he interacts with Maul was very moving, and I really enjoyed it. I thought they handled it really well. I love that Wedge Antilles was brought in the series. I didn't know Wedge was part of the Rebels. Wedge has always been a character I enjoyed a lot, obviously in the movies, but in the old Star Wars Expanded Universe, Wedge was a big character. In the new Disney Star Wars books, he's become a big character as well. So I've always had a deep affinity for Wedge, so I was glad to see that young teenage Wedge out of the Imperial Flight Academy defects the Rebels and becomes a pilot for the Rebels. Loved that. That episode was one of my favorite ones too. I liked the little behind the scenes stuff at the Imperial Flight Academy as Sabine tries to get some Imperial pilots in training to defect the Rebel side, and I'm glad she got Wedge. Hondo the pirate. Hondo was definitely one of the more interesting characters in Clone Wars. I'm glad he's been brought back in Rebels, and I've been really enjoying his interaction with Ezra, where he seems to be a friend for them, but every once in a while he does something that kind of backstab him, but then they become friends again. It's a kind of interesting dynamic, and Hondo's just a very cool and interesting character. Even when you don't like his motives, he's still entertaining on the screen. Sabine, I love Sabine's storyline for Season 3. Obviously, you have a lot more Mandalorian storylines involving her, and you have the introduction of the Darksaber, which I was familiar with the Darksaber because I have seen The Mandalorian, and if you've seen The Mandalorian, you know in the last episode the Darksaber comes about. And at the time, since I'd never seen animated stuff, I was like, what is this? So, after that last episode, like the next day, there were articles. This is what this mysterious black lightsaber that was at the end of The Mandalorian. So I read articles about it. So this is the other part of Rebels I already kind of knew because The Mandalorian. So I was really excited when I finally got to the episode where the Darksaber is introduced, and then basically the Darksaber storyline for this season was really fascinating. I really enjoyed it, and it really the involvement of Sabine in the storyline and her inner turmoil over the Darksaber. Honestly, I think I might have enjoyed Sabine's storyline and character development the most of being the characters in Rebels on Season 3. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. You have another great Star Wars movie character introduced with Mothma, and her introduction kind of is a good way of signaling our little small rebel group that has grown and met up with other small little rebel groups. That they're beginning the transition to becoming the Rebel Alliance, and it's really cool to kind of see that point going like, oh, how this is leading up to the events of A New Hope. It was very exciting to kind of see that, and it brought a little warmness to my heart to see Mom Mothma on the screen again and know what that means for this future of Star Wars with A New Hope and coming around and the Rebel Alliance really taking the battle to the Empire. So Season 3 was definitely my favorite season of Rebels so far, and I have to give Rebels credit. Each season has gotten better and better, and that's really hard for a season. Even the Clone Wars, I didn't feel like did that. I really enjoyed all that seasons, but there were some seasons like, I'm not sure if I like this one as much as the season before. Rebels, each year is getting better and better, and they're really building up the storyline and building up the stakes and the tension and the entertainment value of the series. Loving where Rebels development is going, and I'm very excited to see where the last season, because Rebels is only 4 seasons, I'm very interested to see how the storyline wraps up. So that's my review for season 3 of Rebels. Let me know in the comment section below, what were some of your favorite characters and stories from season 3? Was it the Darksaber? Was it Fran's introduction? Very interested to see your feedback. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. Hope you're enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying doing this series of videos focusing on all the great Star Wars animated content. So hope you keep on coming back to watch these videos, and may the Force be with you.